you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hello, Layina. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello,
Hello,
Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Say Harit, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Is anyone here from UM6P Explorer?
Not
You may
this
want to use you may want to use the chat also to discuss with your colleagues.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Balance. I see Aziz.
How are you doing?
So we'll be starting in 2 minutes. Is that okay for everyone? Just waiting for a little bit more people to gather and then we can start. Awesome. Hello, Yahya. We're doing good, thank you, and you? Imad, we're starting in 1 minute. Just waiting for a few people to come in, all right?
Okay, how many people is here?
Now we have around 60 people, including everyone, but we're still waiting for a few more participants to show up.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
It would be great if you can add your ID to your account, so that will be easy to see all of you. Thanks.
Yes, for those who are here, please, if you're a solo talent, as it's mentioned, could you please change your name on Zoom? So you do your ID and then your first name and then your last name.
Okay, got it.
Got it? If you don't know
Yes.
your ID, the file is on the chat. Umayma has posted it. There's a PDF file with your ID on it. Please look it up and change your name. Just like the example, for example, here we have TO1 Ashit Leila. So please do the same. And
Okay.
then if you're a startup, please change your name. That includes to include your ID, your startup name, then your first name and last name. Just an example.
Should I call my startup name
No.
before the name?
Your
No, just
Excuse me, Ahmed, you are here as an observer because you came as a solo talent. So please use your ID as a solo talent.
Okay, got it.
okay, cool.
One more thing, starting from now, please, we will shut like the audio of all the participants except the ones who are will be speaking, please.
Yes. For those of you who are just joining, please change your Zoom name to include your ID and then first name and last name, just like in the example. If you don't know your ID again, you're gonna find a file on the chat box, a PDF file with all of your IDs. Thank you.
We sharing it as I believe when we have newcomers, they don't have access to the file.
Okay,
So I just reshared it.
awesome. Thank you.
Also, guys, if you don't like the music choice, it's completely Zainab's fault.
Well, sorry.
just keep it.
C'est notre usine.
Sorry?
The DJ is Zainab.
Yes, I'm the DJ today.
So maybe Zainab will start. If
Okay,
you
sure.
will not, great.
All right, let's start then.
So maybe we to ease if we can have great. So we can. So no need to share the screen. So thank you very much. So welcome on board. Welcome on board, everyone. We are so happy and so proud to see all this beautiful screen. We are finally all reunited. It's really beautiful screen. We are so proud to have you here this evening for the first edition of Open Startup Morocco and the kickstart of our 5-day bootcamp. So I'm Laina Oudgheri from Impact for Development, and I am the project manager of Open Startup Morocco pre-incubator program. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants, startup teams, solo talents. Congrats again for your selection. And I would like to thank as well all the teams who worked very hard behind this program and this event today. And of course, to thank all our valuable partners and guests who joined us this evening to share with us this exceptional entrepreneurship experience. And I would like to say thank you for your trust, for your support on behalf of all the teams and the participants. Thank you very much. So this evening, we would like to, we will have the pleasure actually to better know each other, to introduce and in more details the OST program. And we will have as well, we will invite you to experience an amazing activity of collective intelligence before leaving you with some best practices for the rest of the bootcamp. So to start, I have the great pleasure to introduce Huda Rozi. Huda is an amazing entrepreneurship leader and a valuable friend from Tunisia. Huda is the founder of Open Startup, and she will share with us the exciting story behind OST pre-incubator program and how we made it happen to be all together here this evening. So Huda, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Laina. Thank you. It's an incredible honor to be here today and to have the opportunity to share this experience with our neighbors and friends from Morocco. A big thank you to the Moroccan team for the incredible work that has been achieved in the last month and a half or 2 months, I'd say. And also an incredible thanks to our Colombia partners who have been with us from the beginning for 5 years now. And so I don't know if you see my screen right now. I suppose that you should at this stage.
Yes, we see.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, our experience started off in Columbia University without randomly, I would say. We went for a training and it was about fostering entrepreneurial ecosystems in universities. And based on that experience with, if I well remember, around 12 faculty members from different universities, as you can see there's Ivy and Ahmed, and we decided to organize this competition to bring students together. And since we cannot move the walls of universities, because in Tunisia, universities are kind of isolated when it comes to discipline, we decided to create a competition where the objective was to create cross-disciplinarity. And so we started off, and it was in 2016, and that was the very first event. And after 5 successful editions of OST-T, the events went bigger and bigger. Our community has grown, and it has become, to be quite honest, in Tunisia, among the most successful entrepreneurial competitions in the country, until it transformed into a pre-incubator. But just to give you some idea for about numbers on around, so in Tunisia, we're around 11 million inhabitants. We have 500 alumni today. 200 coaches that have been trained through the program, 90 Columbia Business School students who have been linked to our students here in Tunisia, and 36 startups have been created. 12 obtained a label, 4 a pre-label, and 15, a bit less than a half, were able to fundraise, and 4, if I remember my numbers, have had fundraised more than 100K. And around 120 jobs have been created. The incredible, I'd say, number that I keep in mind, much more than just the startups, is the fact that 0% of the students that we had interviewed are unemployed here in Tunisia, which is quite an incredible number, because in Tunisia, our unemployed are essentially from, unfortunately, graduated. So, basically, what made this program what it is technically it's a 12-week program. It's co-designed with Columbia University Engineering and Business Schools, and it's really targeting students and adapting. It's not like just a program where it's a competition. It really adapts to the specific needs of students. And we do believe that by living the experience precisely as if you are an entrepreneur, you end up becoming very quickly an entrepreneur. So I'm very happy and proud today and honored to have this program move to Morocco. And so I would like to introduce someone who has been a key player in this program, who is Tarek Nashnash. Tarek, floor is yours if you want to take control over the screen. And again, thank you so much. You are a pride for your country, and I really hope that you will enjoy the experience as much as we have been enjoying it in our home country. Thank you.
Thank you, Huda. You know, Huda, I mean, 3 months ago, we were dreaming about this to happen. And sometimes you wonder, be careful what you dream of, right? I mean, it's great to see the success in Open Startup Tunisia. I think for us, it's both inspiring, but also very didactical. I mean, we've been learning a lot on the preparation of this first edition from the Tunisian experience. I mean, you, Huda, Zach, and the whole team, you are a real force of bootstrapping this work in Morocco. Dear participants, here we go. Welcome to the first edition of the Open Startup Morocco. This is, as you said, 12 weeks program. It is co-designed with Columbia University, and it's targeting mainly students and fresh graduates. I want to share some statistics. As you know, all of you have applied to this program. We have received, let me check the numbers. Hold on. I have the numbers here. We have received more than 300 applications. So it's in a way we have around 20% acceptance rate. You are today part of the 22 selected startups out of 97 applicants, and you are 47 solo talents out of 215 applicants. You are coming from 10 regions from Morocco. You're coming from the region of Tangier, and Hoceima. You're coming from the region of L'Oriental, Fas Meknès, Rabat, Saleh, Qnaytara. You are from Beni Mellal.
Your mic, Tarek.
No, have you heard me at the beginning? Or
Yes, we can hear you, Tariq. Just now it's, but we can hear you.
what did you hear?
Just Fes and Meknes. So we are waiting for the other regions.
Right, okay. Fas Meknès, Rabat, Saleh, Qnaytara, Beni Mellal, Khnifra, Casablanca, Stad, region of Marrakech, Asfi, Darat, Filalt, Souss Messa, and of course, the region of Dakhla, Wad Dahab. We have kind of a mixed 48% of the participants are girls and women, 52 are men. We have 44% of the participants are from the technology background, 32% from the business, but we also have participants from the agriculture, medical, and arts fields. Well, those are the 22 startups that are joining this program. Big applause to each one of you. It will be a very exciting journey. Those are the names of all the solo talents. So please, as a solo talent, you are supposed to join a startup and participate on the success of its program. So there will be a whole matching program. We have been exchanging with you on how to match and to join a startup. So please follow up and make sure you join it. So before we begin, I would like to share the team who have been behind all this work. First, I would like to thank David and Umayma and Zineb, who has been doing a lot of work, but she's not part of the picture. So she's doing the work behind the curtains from the Africa Business School. Professor Haritz from Al Akhawain, and Leina and Hanan from Impact from Development. Also, a big applause to our partners, Open Startup International, Huda, Zach, Sarah, Hamish. I mean, really, I personally consider this is an integral part of the Moroccan team in a way. While we are disconnected geographically, we feel like we are one team together. I remember how Huda has been connected and helping making this successful from South Africa during the holidays of last year. Zach has been working day and night in a way to make this event successful. A big thank you to all the team. Also, I would like to introduce you to our international partners, Professor Kamil, Ivy, Dario, Farzin. Look, Farzin is connected from Los Angeles, which is 9 hours time difference from Morocco. So imagine tomorrow will be working at 2 p.m. It will be 3 a.m. In Los Angeles, and he will be joining us. So this is just to show you like how this program has been a big collective effort for a number of institutions. So it is a consortium of Impacts for Development, Africa Business School, and Al Akhawain. But also this work is in partnership with the US Embassy, Open Startup International, Columbia University, and the support of Deloitte and Africa Invest. Before I conclude, and I would like to share like just a word on the name of Impacts for Development. Impacts of Development is an NGO that works on development in Morocco. And we believe that development is a shared responsibility. And to achieve this development in Morocco, our bet is on your creativity, your innovation and engagement. And the development of Morocco, in a way, is in the hands of your potential to create wealth and contribute to the prosperity of our communities. Yet our bets on making of Morocco a kind of a startup nation requires building an enabling ecosystem. And this is what we're trying to make with this event. This event today is a positive sign of shaping this like entrepreneurship ecosystem, bringing the collective intelligence of many national and international partners that can only be like the foundation of this future development. So I would like to stop here and give the floor to Lena to continue with the rest of the agenda.
Great. Many thanks, Tariq. Many thanks, Huda, for this great introduction. And now I have the great pleasure to introduce Davida McDonald, the representative of the US Embassy in Morocco. Davida, the floor is yours.
Great. Hello, everyone. Apologies for dialing in from my office. I've gotten stuck, but I'm delighted to have the chance to welcome all of you and say hello. I'm the cultural attaché at the US Embassy here in Rabat. And I'm so excited for this very first OSTM boot camp. I have been hearing about Open Startup from my colleagues in Tunisia for about the last 3 years. I've been hearing it's amazing. Working with Huda and working with her team is wonderful. Colombia is fantastic. And it's such an enriching program that brings talented young people together. They collaborate internationally with American students and really launch their ideas. And I have to say that many of the entrepreneurs in Tunisia who've done this program have actually put their ideas into practice and are finding success. I've been hearing about this, and we had the opportunity to launch it here in Morocco, seized it, and are so excited that we did. We have fantastic partners, again, Colombia, Ivy and her team, but also, and of course, Huda, who brings such energy, such professionalism and commitment to the entire process, as well as her team. We actually launched a competitive process to find local universities that could work with us, and it was extremely competitive. And we're delighted to have two of Morocco's preeminent, internationally looking, forward-leaning universities, the Africa Business School, part of UM6P, and Al Akhawain University. So thank you to David, Tariq, and all of your teams as well for your hard work and success in finding an amazing cohort. I want to pause for a second and just say, I know that in a normal year, we'd have gotten you all together in person, not online. And I know that, all of us experiencing a bit of Zoom fatigue, but we've been doing this for a while. We've learned how to do it right. And I think being able to connect electronically is actually a skill building exercise in itself. You learn flexibility, you learn to use technology to the fullest, you learn resilience. And that's the kind of skills that will take you far, not just in the boot camp, but also in your careers as entrepreneurs. So what I've really found in doing virtual programs is the energy that you bring, that we bring, that makes all the difference in making a successful, dynamic, interactive virtual program. So I think it's going to be an amazing series of events. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll be checking in and connecting with you as we go through the whole open startup process. But I think there's some great ideas bubbling around out there, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. So congratulations again, and best of luck.
Many thanks. Thanks, Davida. And now I would like to give the floor to Huda to introduce again Open Startup.
So what I would want to say here more to our participants is that I've been, since we started, trying to look around and see what are the main similarities between our two countries. It is true that we are not too far, but in reality, I found some key elements. So for instance, we both had our independence in 1956. Our second language is French. We love tea. We are quite joyful as, I think, inhabitants. But I would think, and I think that the most important and strategic number is the importance of our youth. In Morocco, youth represent 30% of the inhabitants. And what we can see is that we often think at youth as being unemployed and a hassle for countries. But in reality, keep in mind that it is a demographic gift. Youth is an enormous potential. It is the only engine for development and growth. And right now, the most important key element for our country is to create the culture, because often it is the very first obstacle, unfortunately, to become an entrepreneur. It is that very first obstacle that comes from our culture, that comes sometimes from our education, our families. And in reality, I would dream, and I would hope you to dream of a Morocco and a Tunisia that are into co-opetition, because we would love to cooperate more. And I really think that innovation and entrepreneurship could be an incredible opportunity. And I hope that OST is there just to serve as a platform that would bring like-minded youth together, to work together and to share knowledge and to share markets and to go international together. And that is the big dream of OST. So for the rest, I'll let the other partners discuss about the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Huda. We totally agree that we need to build this entrepreneurship ecosystem all together, and we are here to build it with this generation. So now I would like to give the floor to Ivy Schultz. So Ivy is the entrepreneurship director from Columbia University. Welcome, Ivy. Ivy will be with us these coming days. The floor is for you.
All right. Thank you, Lena, and greetings from Columbia University. I'm really happy to be here and to be representing my colleagues today. We, of course, believe that innovation is a crucial part of solving the world problems, and we think it's even more important now that we're recovering from a pandemic. I'm really looking forward to learning about you, meeting you, and getting to know all of the teams. That's really our favorite part of the program. I agree with Huda that youth is really where the energy comes. It's where the new ideas come from. And we just can't wait to see all of those ideas blossom and grow. I'm really sad that we're doing this virtually. I mean, I'm happy it's happening, but I'm sad that we're not in Morocco with you, getting to know you, sharing a meal. That's really something that we truly enjoy. But we're proud to be getting closer to new partners and all of you. Our students really are global in their backgrounds and their thinking and their aspirations. You'll be meeting some of them soon. They're really excited to be part of this program, and we're all thrilled to see where it goes. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Ivy. So now I would like to introduce Michel Fender. Michel is the Dean of Faculty at Africa Business School. Welcome, Michel. The floor is for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I would like to tell you that as the Dean of Faculty and Research at Africa Business School, I'm very proud that, especially thanks to Dr. David Hayes, ABS is part of this great initiative. To be clear, I define myself as a serial entrepreneur in higher education. And ABS itself is an entrepreneurial adventure, I can tell you. So every day is a new adventure in this new Greenfield school. And this is not frequent that in a market of higher education, a new business school is built up, from Greenfield. Therefore, I would say we have a collective responsibility to value this creation by supporting and joining initiatives such as the Open Startup Morocco, and have personally a high level of respect for entrepreneurs. Within ABS, we have a dedicated research and learning cluster. We name it Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And we believe in the value provided by entrepreneurs in the development of people, the development of economy, and in the value of providing solutions that the world is facing today. And in other words, I would say entrepreneurship is absolutely strategic for us. Strategic in two dimensions. From a macro perspective, I consider that entrepreneurship is a fundamental leverage for stimulating and sustaining the economic development. And you know, complementary, we are today in a unique situation. The COVID-19 is an historical window to put innovation into practice, and then to reinvent the ways we behave, the ways we manage, and the way we envision the world. And for you, great success to have joined this program. This is a great opportunity. There is a high level of expectations and appetite, I would say, for starting up the new world. So can you imagine, you are absolutely in a fantastic situation to play this role. From a micro perspective, the keywords I have in my mind when I hear about entrepreneurship are courage, passion, determination and willingness, and eventually resilience. And I would like to complete this list by another keyword, which is the awareness of yourself. That means you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and as well your desires and what you don't like to do. That's for me absolutely fundamental. And as well the awareness of your ecosystem. And you know, when you start up a new business, it's not only a question of technical dimension and business plan. This is, of course, a rational dimension of that, which is key. But there is also as well a question of personal objective fulfillment and satisfaction. So in a word, I would say, think of you first, I would say in this way. My main recommendation to you is the following. Launching a startup can be perceived as a solo, activity, and we saw before a slide with the solo talents and startups. So definitely, yeah, it's a solo initiative, and even if it's a project can be supported by the team, this is fundamental to consider yourself as a person, as a member, a player within this value network. And this initiative on Open Startup Morocco is really based on this value of network. And this network is made of institutions, advisors, mentors, practitioners, and others. And I recommend you to spend some time to identify which part of this value network can be a source of inspiration and a source of support. And please be selective in order to save your time and your energy. Energy is key. Managing your energy along this journey is absolutely key. But use this source of information and energy on a very responsive mode. People around you are here to support your initiative, so don't wait. Time is your worst enemy or your most limited resource. So if I well understood the goal of Open Startup Morocco, this network approach is the backbone of this model, which is offered to you. So again, very proud to be part of this initiative. Congratulations to all of you to have joined successfully this initiative. Enjoy it. It will be a great learning for you, a unique experience in your life. And again, we are proud to be part of it, and we will care of you along this journey. So, but again, enjoy it. This is the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michel, for your wise words, and we will keep in mind all the characteristics, resilience, courage, and we are happy to start this 2021 year with this program. Thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce Youssef Chtiwi, the undergraduate programs coordinator at the School of Business Administration Al Akhawain University. The floor is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. So as presenting the School of Business Administration from Al Akhawain University, so I would like first to thank all the organizers and the partners from the Open Startup International, from the US Embassy, the Columbia Business School, and our partner, Africa Business School, of course. So first of all, I would like to thank you all for your engagement in this wonderful initiative that will not only provide a high quality training to our young leaders, but will also enable them to have an opportunity for more intercultural exchange with other students from other different cultural contexts. So this project, dear participants, will also enable you to create like strong peer networks and have exposure to the world of international startups. So congratulations again for being selected in this first edition of the Open Startup Morocco. In fact, at the School of Business Administration at Al Akhawan University, we do not only offer programs that prioritize entrepreneurship, but we consider entrepreneurship as a key to shaping our future leaders and managers. So in all our classes, we are offering like service learning. We are trying to engage our students in the Azro Center. So they are helping like empowering women via the Hillary Clinton Center that we have here. We are trying to include entrepreneurship in all our business courses because this is a key to success, especially in developing economies. And this can explain the fact that the majority of economies, or for example, if we take Morocco, we have like more than 93% of private companies are small and medium-sized companies, while it is above 98% in other developed countries like US, for example. So dear participants, becoming entrepreneurs is not only helping you create wealth for your economy, because you are the future of this country, you are the future of your economies. So this will also provide you with the opportunity for employment because you are the youth, you are the power of your country and of your economy. It will also enable you to have an opportunity for self-actualization, for independence, and more importantly, it will help you reach your objectives and life balance. So today, we are moving from a managerial economy to an entrepreneurial economy where knowledge is a key advantage or a key competitive advantage for all economies. Today, even if you are having like a small company in like a neighborhood, you might be competing with international companies, with some major companies, and this is the result of globalization. So having this international mindset is really, really very important if you want to achieve your objectives. Okay, so I hope that you will enjoy this wonderful learning experience, and I hope to see you all as successful entrepreneurs in the future. And I hope that this will not be the first or the only edition of this Open Star Morocco or OST-M bootcamp. We hope that we will have other editions, and we hope that we will have more and more collaborations in the future. Okay, so thank you again for the organizers, and thank you for engaging our students and our youth in this really very promising project. Thank you all.
Many thanks, Youssef. Many thanks for your word. And now I would like to introduce Fatine Wahtita. Fatine is a university professor at UNCG Casablanca. Fatine, the floor is yours. Fatine? Can you hear us?
If not, Leina, we can move to the next
Maybe
speaker.
we can move to the next guest. And now I would like to introduce Aziz Sayer, the Dean of Faculty of UNCG Dakhla. Welcome. Mr. Aziz Sayer.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
I can hear me, yeah? So, it's my honor to be with you. Well, first, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for organizing the first edition of Open Startup Morocco, the program which is designed to promote and boost entrepreneurship for students in Morocco in higher trade and technology. Special thinking for the fact of involving Dakhla Business School in this program. This comes right after the US proclamation on recognizing the whole territory of Morocco, the sovereignty of the whole territory of Morocco. And this is one of the first actions taken by the US embassy and the partners that takes place in this part of Morocco. Well, a few words about the business school. Dakhla Business School was established in 2016, so it's a new born, let's say, school, which is affiliated to the University of North in Agadir. So the aim of launching this business school in this part of Morocco is to accompany the economic development. This really new, spectacular evolution of different economic sectors. Well, and our aim in the business school is to have a generation of entrepreneurs and top managers that we take the lead. We have the conviction, of course, that entrepreneurship is a key for regional, local, regional, and the international development. Yeah, we have around 700 students full of energy, ambition, and that we will fulfill and take this lead. We will have our first graduates within 5 months. So this is good that they are not missing this opportunity. Well, once again, I would like to thank, of course, thank everybody for giving our youth this opportunity, and for sure that it will be of an added value for them and for the region, Dakhla wa Dahab. Special thanks here to the US Embassy and all the partners here, like the Columbia University and others. And thank you for the team behind, of course, organizing. I know that, of course, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. Yeah, and we wish, of course, good luck to all participants. And we hope we're going to have you. We wish to host you in Dakhla very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aziz, for your word, and we are so happy to have you part of this program. Thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce Lex Paulsen, the Executive Director of EM6P School of Collective Intelligence. Lex, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. It's a great pleasure to be invited to join you and to join as a partner with this exciting initiative led by so many wonderful change makers in Morocco and supported by innovators from around the world. The School of Collective Intelligence at UM6P is part of the business pole with Africa Business School. And we as a school bringing forth a new set of methods and tools, it might be useful to first begin, well, what is collective intelligence and why is it useful to entrepreneurs? And so I think it's something that's in the air. You've heard this idea that groups can be wiser than their individual members, that there is this idea that crowdsourcing, wikis, collective collaborations can produce great innovation. But I think we've also seen very recently that collective stupidity is just as common as collective intelligence. And so what makes the difference? That is what the science of collective intelligence studies. So we look at 3 main pillars of the science of human collaboration, of how it is that we can together build great cities, great companies, health systems, scientific breakthroughs, but so too can we have mass delusions, herd mentality, and of course mobs. And so we look at first cognition. So our school has a strong base in cognitive science, including researchers from MIT and the École Normale Supérieure in Paris, thinking about how what are the strengths and weaknesses of our ability to reason, our biases, our ability to process information, how we reason morally and how that works differently in different cultures. So this is the first pillar, cognition. Second, systems. How do you design systems that produce intelligence because of how people are organized to work together? How do you create a system that pulls on many different sources of information from the community, all the proliferation of data sources that exist? How do you aggregate that together effectively? How do you create a diverse pool, not just diverse in how people look, but diverse in how people think, how they create, how they generate information, how they interpret problems, how they solve problems. So cognitive diversity, and of course, how do we guard against the kind of groupthink or herd mentality that can exclude opinions that start out as minority opinions, but can actually produce the next great disruptive idea. And so this is the second pillar of systems thinking. How do we build and affect, influence human organizations and social systems? And finally, facilitation. How do we unlock the creativity of our teams? How do we understand, again, how culture can affect how people communicate, how people reason together? What are the methods of dialogue, of consultation, of door-to-door campaigning, of storytelling and narrative that allow us to build motivated and aligned teams? So at the School of Collective Intelligence, this is what we study. We have the first, this year, have launched the first Masters in Collective Intelligence accredited anywhere in the world, again, with an international faculty drawing on partnerships with MIT and the École Normale Supérieure. We have launched a research program, including 3 research laboratories looking at different aspects of collaborative learning, of digital tools for collective knowledge. And finally, applied projects, executive education and applied work with governments and companies that are looking to improve the quality of their collaboration, the quality of their ability to solve complex problems. And so this is why I think this could be relevant for you as entrepreneurs to think about, how do we solve the most complex problems? Well, we need to bring people together who have different skills, different knowledge, different ways of interpreting the problem. So this is why CI, Collective Intelligence, helps you solve the most complex problems in a world that is growing more complex and interdependent. And then secondly, meaning that it's not just good enough for this next generation to work for a company that gives you a steady salary and you make widgets. No, the reason why you're entrepreneurs is because you are motivated by something more than just a paycheck. You want to create positive change, disrupt what is possible today, and create a new possibility, as Michel said. This requires courage, this requires motivation, and this requires sharing that sense of meaning, belonging, well-being, realizing your potential. This is what we call the social dimension of collective intelligence. And so these are the value propositions that the science of collective intelligence brings to entrepreneurs. And we're very excited to be today offering you an example of an applied method of collective intelligence for our icebreaker exercise, and look forward to accompanying this program and helping you all succeed.
Great. Many thanks, Lex, for the introduction, as well for your words and the introduction for the icebreaker we will have in a few minutes. So many thanks again to all the partners and the guests for your talk. And let's get started. Great. So Tariq, the floor is yours to introduce the opener's journey.
All right, let's roll. So what's next? Basically, this is our roadmap. So like for all the participants, let's be careful to understand like what's coming next. So today is the official kickoff. This is the first day of the bootcamp. We're talking about 5 days bootcamp. And then the question is, what should we expect after the bootcamp? So after the bootcamp, a trainer or a coach will contact you as a startup to support your preparation of the business plan, of the pitch, to prepare you basically for the next event, which is the semifinal. With the trainer, there will be a weekly meeting. And it's not just a meeting. You will be asked to prepare homeworks to develop your ideas further. So in a way, it will be like a weekly homework that you work on and discuss with your trainer. And then our next big event will be it wasn't me. So our next big meeting will be on February 12th, where each startup will be expected to pitch its idea to a jury, and then only six teams will be selected to go through. The 6 teams will go further to prepare for the final. That is planned on early March. Then 1 team will basically get through the final to present their idea in New York at Columbia University. So this is basically the big plan of this 12 weeks program. So what we need to just keep in mind that let's all remember that this is not a competition at the end. This is really about building the leaders of tomorrow. This is about having fun. This is about having the right mindset to be change makers in the future. This is about learning from the international practices of Columbia U, from Tunisia, from other schools and university. I mean, I forgot to say, there are around 30 schools. There are participants coming from around 30 schools around Morocco today. So it's all about like building the network, making friends, and having fun. However, this is still very, very, very competitive. So let's keep that in mind. Having said that, let's stop here and see how much time we have for questions and answers. Should we just like have the questions on the chat box, or how do we want to do that?
So yes, maybe we can have the question in the chat box, and Zainab and Umayma can give us some words and choose some questions. And if we don't have questions, and as we are running maybe time, we can.
Can we ask a question like early, or we should write it?
Yes, you can. I think, guys, you can also raise your hand, maybe, just so we don't have people talking at the same time. And
yes, good.
we'll
Yeah,
give the
thank
floor.
We have a question in the meantime on the chat box that I see from Yasmin. She's asking when and where can solo talents meet with startups?
That's a good question. David or Zainab, do you want to talk about the matching events?
David, maybe?
Okay. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm David. I'm here at the matchup event. So we had asked you guys to produce a 1-minute video. And the purpose of that video was to introduce yourself, both as a company and then as well as an individual startup, a solo talent. And we've given you a link to those videos as well as the companies that are participating in this program. And for the companies, we've given them, of course, a link to the solo talents. Tomorrow we are going to have a matchmaking event. So I guess you can kind of think of it as speed dating and Tinder combined. But we're going to give you guys an opportunity to meet with the startups. We're going to give the startups an opportunity to meet with solo talents that they want to meet with, as well as solo talents. What companies do they wish to meet with? And we'll have sort of a speed dating event to try to help make a match. We've said prior to all of this, you guys can make a match right now. You can go out and look at the videos. You can go out and contact each other. You have a number of ways of doing that. And if you find a match now, let us know. We'll sort of take you off the board, so to speak. So think of it as a competitive process. Everybody needs to be matched up. Solo talents, you need to find a company that you can work with, that you provide a good resource and service for. At the end of the event, which is Monday night, if you are not attached to a company, that'll be the end of the road for you here at this point. You can go through training with us, but we need you to be attached to a company. Does that help?
Thank you, David. So I'm looking at the questions. There is another question coming from Walid that says, what's the measurement you take to choose the best 6 ones? Thank you so much. I think since this is our first time, maybe this is an opportunity to learn from our partners in Tunisia. Huda, do you want to share with us how basically you run like the selection of the 6 best startups in the semifinals?
Sorry, can you repeat? It was a bit frozen at one point.
Yeah.
How
So
do we select the best?
Yeah, we got a question from one of the participants, Walid, who's asking basically what are the criteria of selection of the best ideas on the semifinal?
Yes, of course. So for the semifinals, in general, there are 5 criteria. The first one is about the impact of the idea, the potential of growth, how innovative the idea is. The product market fit is very important, and there's also an important highlight on the team complementarity and its capacity to execute.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So just I think in a nutshell, the most important element to keep in mind is that at that point of time, they don't look at technology or it's really showing that there's a real problem out there, and that the solution that you're providing is a solution that really allows to answer to that problem, that there is a good product market fit, and that you will be able to execute it.
Thank you. Thank you, Huda.
Walid is assuring that he'll be one of the 6. Let's bet, Walid. Bravo.
Okay, good evening.
Then we have a question from Ahmed Zahlan. He says, what happens if we don't have all the talents required? How can OST help in that? Can we hire anyone from outside? Again, Huda, did you have any case like this one?
So in case, I mean, usually the cohort is sufficiently important to be able to find the right talents. Once a team decides, I mean, we do not allow for people that are external to join because they are not part of the different trainings. So I'd say that in the rules, usually that is not something that is allowed, because we would have wanted that team to have either team members that they would have applied from the beginning as part of the team, and it makes it difficult to have people who do not join the program from the beginning and that are not selected on the normal basis. So unfortunately for that, it is a bit complex, I'd say.
And may I add to this? So Ahmed, again, you may know that there is a listing of talents, solo talents. They're very diverse. They cover really all spectrums of anywhere from engineering talent to marketing to business talent. So we would encourage you to go out and look at the videos that have been produced and then find some good matches for you. We think there are some good matches out on the listing of solo talents.
Next question is from Imad. He's saying, I want to switch my subscription from solo talent to startup. I did a mistake when filling the form. I can answer this if it's possible. Imad, I think we discussed this on the phone yesterday. Basically, we have received many people who have been asking to kind of register either as solo or startup like beyond the deadline, and we're having a hard time basically kind of switching this at this stage. My proposal, like this is the first edition, and we'll definitely contact all the participants today for the next edition. It will be very interesting to get your startup into these projects in the future.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Tariq.
Hi, Fatin is here.
Yes, okay. So sorry, something out of my control. So sorry for being late.
Welcome, Mrs. Fatin Wahdita.
Okay, how are you doing? I hope doing well.
Fine. Mrs. Wahdita
Yes,
is from
okay,
OST
great.
Casablanca.
So good evening, my dear students too. I'm so proud of the level of my students, seriously. Okay, can I share with you some information about us?
Go ahead.
Yes, sure. The floor is yours.
How can I do?
Yes, just share your screen.
No, no.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Should I stop?
No.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yes. It's just a quick PowerPoint.
Zainab, can you give her the right to share the screen?
I just did.
I'm trying.
It should be fine now?
No, don't think so. No. No.
Can you take the floor, Fatin, without the PowerPoint? If that's possible?
Okay, I will do.
Fatiha, in the down bar, you will see a share screen button. You should hit on it.
Yes, I'm doing that, but I don't find, I think the...
And you need to switch your camera from your front to desktop camera screen shot.
Mhm. Okay, unfortunately. No. Okay. So just a minute to look for the document, just to talk about. Yes, okay. So unfortunately, but really, I did great report yesterday to organize a lot of things about us as Learn Suggest students. Okay, so just to mention that Learn Suggest, okay, is unquestionably the first is the category, or is the category nationally. The success of our students and the reputation of our school are closely linked to the development with our graduates of internship and taking initiative and leading projects through their participation in the realization of major events in which the events their expertise and know-how throughout their courses during their life years, this 5 years in school. And what is good that the students from the second year, they can create a project, okay? And the most of the students here that they send their business plan is about projects from this, the second year. And this is very, very, important. They know how to do the advertising strategies, how to create a commercial video, the business plan, the marketing mix, all the stuff that has linked with the business plan. So, and also what is very good that the students, they can do it with 5 languages, okay? So, and this is really, that's why I said that I'm proud of you. Seriously, I have some extra informations about us and about the students, what they can do in the part of Learn Suggest project, but unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with the PowerPoint, but I can send it to you, Mr. Tariq, later, okay?
Yep.
Yes?
Great.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And again, I'm so sorry about being late. Thank you again. Thank you
No
for your
worries. Thank you very much,
participation.
Fatin.
And
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So maybe we can pick another last questions. And for all the other ones, we will, of course, get in touch with you and give you all the information needed. I just see one from Reem Shabli who said that, is it, how can I say, a place for other talents from medical? I know your profile, Reem, you are from the medical sector. I would like just to connect, as you are doing now, the session digitally, that there is a matching now because Glutek Ahmed is asking for talent, and Glutek is in the health, actually, tech industry. And Reem is from the medical tech industry as well. I know that you are keen of that. So maybe we are doing a match here. Go connect and see, maybe there is an interesting match here.
I already did. I just sent her a message right now on WhatsApp.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Bravo. So great. So many thanks to all of you for your questions and your interaction. And after this great start, maybe we suggest a quick break and we will resume the session in 5 minutes. So be with us, let's say at 7:15. Let's get back at 7:15. And if you wish to stay, Umayma and Zainab prepared a nice music playlist. So stay with us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So I just wanted to add also for people who joined in late, there were some instructions as of how to write your name. I'm gonna share them one more time during the break so you can rewrite your name following the instructions. Thank you.
find my golden tune. Can't look at those eyes without sparking song.
Are we ready to start?
Yes, let's see if everyone is here.
Okay.
So maybe just to switch on the cameras to see if everyone is here and say hello, myself as well.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello back, everyone.
Yes, great. Okay. Can we see lots of cameras open? And then it's up to you to keep it. Great. So let's go ahead. So welcome back, everyone. And let's start this second part with David Hayes, our great entrepreneurship professor and entrepreneur from Africa Business School. David, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have an icebreaker set up for you. I think that Lex Paulson is going to join me on this too. And we hope you enjoy it. I think that I'm going to introduce Lex. He's going to kind of do his thing, tell you a little bit about the icebreaker. Then we're going to give you an experience, or maybe I should say a really poor attempt that I put together. If I were a solo company, or a company startup, I'd be looking for solo talents that can do graphic design. So just think about that. So I'm going to turn this over at the moment to Lex Paulson from the School of Collective Intelligence. Lex, are you with us?
I think the icebreaker comes next. We are about like the mentor program.
Yes, yeah, how to be mentee first, David. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can go ahead to the icebreaker.
All right. Well, we could do that.
I'm on standby, so I'll wait for the next bit and then we'll start it up.
Okay, well, let me talk to you a little bit about what it means to be a good participant or a good entrepreneur then. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys.
For David's defense, the icebreaker is so nice that I can understand that he just wants to.
Yes, we are so excited to do it, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I could use some good graphic design talent, but hey, you got to go for it sometime. So we want to talk to you about how to be a good learner. So my colleague Omaima is here with me as well, and she has not been feeling all that well. So I'm going to ask her to interject as she would like to give you guys some feedback. But to become a good entrepreneur, so we say sort of before you become that entrepreneur, we want to make a case for you that you need to be a good learner. So we think that entrepreneurship is a lifelong journey. It's a learning experience. So this is an opportunity for you to gain skills, knowledge, and then practice becoming a good entrepreneur. And we think that really starts with learning. So what does that mean? We really think that at this particular point, it's not as important of what you know, but it's what you can learn. So we want you to think about this as an entrepreneur to develop the capacity to learn. And I think about my experience, my background, you're knowing me now as a professor at a university. Prior to that, I'm an entrepreneur and I started a pretty large multi-million-dollar software company in the US. And what I learned very quickly with that company is I did not know it all. And at least I was knowledgeable enough to say, wait a minute, I'm never going to know it all, but what can I do to learn to become a better entrepreneur? And I think those people that become better entrepreneurs are the ones that realize what their skills and weaknesses are, what knowledge they have or they don't have, and then they take advantage of a network of people that are out there to help them. Guess what? There are a lot of entrepreneurs, there are a lot of people at university that want to help you. And we've arranged a pretty amazing group of mentors and coaches for you guys. And we're going to ask you soon to take advantage of that. We're going to match you up with them. But to prepare you for that experience, just know this. They're not expecting you, those coaches for you, to know it all. They want you, though, to have a learning journey. Okay, so Open Startup Morocco is a learning journey. And this is a capacity that you can develop, you can learn along the way. Now, what are those opportunities? You're going to see throughout the program that we have, you're going to have training sessions like this. So we're going to get together with training sessions with you. We've got an amazing 5 days worth of training that'll train you on all aspects of how does the program run, what are the skills that we're going to ask you to start to develop, what are the assignments? Tariq mentioned assignments to you. These are good assignments because they're all based upon gaining knowledge within your idea and then your company. You're going to have opportunities to learn also from your coaches. You'll be working with an expert coach or two, and those coaches are going to help you with the journey. Now, it's not their job to do the work for you, but it is their job to be there to support you. And certainly they have knowledge that you can take advantage from, as well as mentors and experts. We'll talk a little bit about what the difference between coaches and mentors are in just a second. You're going to have the ability of learning from each other. We already saw a dialogue with our medical student and then with Ahmed, where we're saying, wait a minute, maybe I don't fit in, said our medical student. But guess what? You do, because you have unique talents and skills that other people don't have. Good entrepreneurs learn very quickly what they're good at, what they're not good at, and then they surround themselves with people that complement their skills. So you can learn from your team members. By the way, you can reach out to other startups. They may have some experiences, expertise to help you. Maybe they've already done something. They're a little bit ahead from you. So you can reach out to them and learn from them. And guess what? At the end of all of this, we're going to talk to you about who is very important to learn from, and that are customers. So we develop things maybe that we're passionate about, but the bottom line is we have to develop things that we're passionate about, and oh, by the way, that other people are passionate about. So we're going to talk to you about that fit with customers and sort of flipping a model here and a model that says, learn what customers' pain points are, what their problems are, then work on a solution that fits those needs. So we'll talk to you about how we think we flip this process and how it'll give you a better opportunity for success. So we're going to ask you, with all of this that we said, what are the things that you can do to improve your opportunities? If you want to be one of those 6 companies to move forward, what do you do to improve those opportunities? Well, I ask you to reflect here on 2 things. So the first thing I would ask you, can you think of a moment where you really learned quickly? Can you think of a moment where you were unable to learn? And then you sort of describe, why is that? So what were those things that put me in a position where I could learn something quickly and I gained the knowledge? What are those situations that I've been in where I haven't been able to do that? What really has held me back? So we hope in this process that you're going to get an opportunity to reflect on the 2 of those and sort of move forward on a journey of learning. So what are the characteristics of a good learner? Okay, those characteristics of a good learner, there's a bunch of them that you see on the screen. And I think and I do a lot of entrepreneurial research, and I look at these things in terms of what are knowledge learners. And I know that if you talk to a group of entrepreneurs, put them together and you ask them, well, did you have a degree in that you started? Most of them will say no. Matter of fact, the statistics say 7 out of 10 people that go on and start their own companies, they're doing things in fields that they weren't academically trained in. So how did they become good at that, working in an environment that they're not really trained in? Well, they're good learners. They're enthusiastic. They have a lot of positive energy that allows them to say, I have passion for what I'm doing. I have passion for learning, but I want to point this out, they're humble. Good entrepreneurs know what they're good at. Probably more importantly, they know what they're not good at. And it's okay to not be good at everything. Can you raise your hand? Is there anybody in a room that raises a hand and says, I'm good at everything? And if you are, I need to hire you because I don't think any of us can be good at absolutely everything. But we can learn. And then 2, we can surround ourselves with people that complement the things that maybe we're not as good at. When I started my software company, I realized there's certain things I really wasn't good at. I was better at strategic thinking and visioning and talking to customers. I was less good at daily operational activities. So the first person that I hired, joined my team, was somebody who was really good at daily operational activities. And I turned over to Linda all of those roles and responsibilities, and she thrived doing the things that she was good at. And I was humble enough to know I would never be as good as her. So we had a team where we complemented each other. A skill that you can really acquire to be a good learner is to be a good listener. We'll talk to you a little bit about, we're going to offer you a personality assessment test, and we're going to talk to you one skill of empathy, about understanding what other people are feeling and what the needs and wants of what other people are. It's okay to be a motivational person, but to really listen, this is what we have to get good at. Had a panel discussion with a vice president from Goodyear/Michelin Tire, and he said his job is nothing more than to be a good listener. And he said, it's not just hearing what the words were that came at you, it's then understanding what was the person really trying to tell you. And he said, there's a big difference between letting somebody talk and then really understanding what somebody is trying to tell you. And that's how you become a good listener. You should be curious and question. So you can ask questions. Guess what? If you ask questions of mentors, coaches, entrepreneurs, other students, they're all going to be willing to help you. They're going to want to help you. And the more curious you are, the more you go, I wonder what if. I think the more you're going to learn, the better you're going to hone your skills and the better opportunity for success you're going to have on that. Now, here's my problem, multitasking, right? Multitasking, there's always many things that distract me throughout the day. The ability to focus in on the task and avoid those distractions can make you a good learner. You can focus on things, be dedicated to those tasks versus being distracted by things that may not really lead to the end goal that you have. So what are the things that you can do to make whatever your vision is of what you want your company to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 months from now? We're all here to help you with that, but that means you've got to be focused on that task at hand, dedicated to the work, be persistent, and we say also patient. Persistence is a key trait that entrepreneurs share. They know how to continue working on an idea long enough to make it successful. Have you heard the statistic? If I were to ask you, and I can't see the screen, but maybe my colleagues can help me with this, right in the chat box, how many times do people try to learn something? How many times do they try before they give up? Anybody know the answer to that? So maybe my colleagues here, write it in the chat box, put an answer in there, let me know what the answers are. How many times do people try something before they give up? What do you think the answer is?
Somebody said one time, Walid.
Okay, one time's not a bad answer.
Basma said 3 times. We have 5 times.
Okay, so some good answers. Pick the one in the middle, and that's the right answer. Usually 3 times. We try something 3 times before we say, no, I'll never be good at that, I'm going to give up. Here's the second part of the question. How many times does it take for you to try something before you start to get it, before you start to become okay at it? Not expert, just okay at it. Write your answer in. Tell me what you think the answer to that is.
Muad said 3 minimum. Ahmad said 7 days.
Okay, 3 minimum and maybe in 7 days. Okay, in terms of times, number of times versus not like time period, it's actually around 18 times. So about 18 times you have to try something over and over and over before you start to get it. Do you see the difference there? We normally try 3 times before we give up, but it really takes us about 18 times to start to get it. If that's the case, you can see why a lot of people fail at entrepreneurship. Because you have to be persistent, you have to be patient, you have to be dedicated, you have to say, look, I don't care about that other person. I don't care to compare myself. Wait a minute, Bill Gates did it better. Richard Branson did it better. Oprah, oh my gosh, she developed a whole TV network. I'll never be like that. Don't compare yourself to others. We're all unique. Okay, we're all unique. It's okay to be who we are. We're on a life journey. And that life journey means that we learn over time. That means we're going to be passionate and enthusiastic about things. We're going to develop the ability to be good listeners. We will be humble, knowing what we can do well, what we can't do well. We'll try to improve those skills. We'll be curious, focused, dedicated, persistent. We'll help others. And at the same time, we'll ask others to provide feedback to us. One beautiful thing about Open Startup is you're going to get a great opportunity to focus on customers and to focus not so much on a business plan for your product. We want you to focus more on what are the needs of people really, and do you have a product fit match? Who to mention to you product fit match? We'll talk to you about what does that mean. We'll talk to you about who are the customers that you would have, what really are their needs, so we can start to hone in on that product fit match. At the end of it all, we're going to say, don't just sit here and listen to us. Get out of the room. Go out, talk to people. Talk to experts. They can be academic experts. They can be experts in your field, and more importantly, speak to customers. Go out and talk to customers because they're the ones that are going to tell you what they really need, what they really want, because at the end of all of this, you're going to want to develop a product or service that has a unique value proposition, something that customers want, something that they can benefit from. And all of that makes you a good learner, and all of that will make you more successful as an entrepreneur. Now, we're going to present to you coaches, and coaches are going to work with you. And I want to talk to you, though, also about the need for mentors. Coaches, what's coaching? You guys are going to get assigned a coach. Coaches have the responsibility of working with you as a team. They're going to follow up with you on your progress on a regular basis. They want to make sure that the things we're asking you to do, the assignments, that you're completing those in the time period that you have. The role here is to help you and to help you reach the milestones that you need to reach. And you're going to go through this process of ideation and creation, really much like a startup would be. That's what coaching is. It differs than mentorship. Mentorship. Mentors are people that can give you expertise, feedback, advice, somebody in your industry, somebody that may be in the technology sector that you're in, people who can help guide you on your life journey. We all need mentors. We all need to reach out to individuals and ask them, will you help me? Can you provide feedback for me and help me develop through my life journey? Whether I'm an entrepreneur or I go out and work for somebody else, and you need to be entrepreneurial, right? Be an innovator, creator for somebody else. You need a network. Tarek mentioned it to you earlier. Start thinking about a network of people that you're meeting here, the coaches you're going to meet, the trainers that you have here from both Tunisia and Morocco, as well as the US with Columbia University, the business students that you'll meet from Columbia University. That's a pretty nice network of people for you to take advantage of. And we're here to help you, but it's going to be up to you to reach out to start to develop your network. The journey depends on it. Remember, coaches will be there to help you with daily tasks. Mentors help you sort of on your life journey becoming an entrepreneur. So what is being a good coachee mentee? That's all you guys in the room. What is that all about? And here's sort of a need. You guys have probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, here's one for me. My basic need is I need great Wi-Fi. I was really frustrated when I first moved to Morocco because my Wi-Fi went in and out, in and out, in and out. And now I have fiber optic Wi-Fi. I have satisfied my basic need. You notice it's right below air, food, and water. So for me, if I didn't have Wi-Fi, you know, why need the next thing with air, food, and water? Sort of kidding about that, sort of not. But as you work up the way of this ladder, what are the other things that you need? Be clear about what your needs are. We want to build your confidence, your esteem, we say here, your self-efficacy for entrepreneurship. We want to build your creativity, your innovation. We want to make, we say here, an authentic you. So we've got to know, and you need to share, what are your needs. We don't expect you to have all the answers. None of us do. We expect you, though, to reach out to the network that we're providing with you, to you, so you can take advantage, you can learn, and you can further your idea, become better as an entrepreneur. Ask questions. We've said this over and over. We're all here to answer your questions. You can put them in the chat box. You can raise your hand. You can contact us afterwards. We've set you up on WhatsApp. So you guys can go out and ask any of us, and we're all here to help you on this journey. The biggest thing I think here is this. None of us are perfect. None of us have the perfect solution. None of us have something that probably, when we first think about it, can't be improved. We want to help you improve your opportunity of success. So we're going to give you feedback along the way. The mentors will, the coaches will. You can reach out to your partners, ask for feedback, give honest feedback. What good is it when you go to your mom and dad and you ask mom and dad, what do you think about this? They don't want to hurt your feelings. They love you and they say, oh, for me, son, that is the best thing ever. Well, is that the feedback you really want as you move forward? Well, yeah, we want the love from our mother and father, but the best feedback would be some really honest, truthful feedback. So you're going to want to get that honest feedback. I think about my start as an entrepreneur. I don't know, this was on, I guess it was honest feedback from my brother-in-law, who I love quite a bit. And I went to him and said, Chris, what do you think about this software idea that I have? And he said, oh, I think it's a stupid idea. And I don't think you're smart enough to do it anyway, David. that was brutal feedback. Emotionally, it made me kind of mad. But what it did for me is it made me say, wait a minute, I'm going to go back and look at my idea, make sure it's a good one. 2, I'm going to prove him wrong. I got a lot of passion to prove him wrong. So feedback, it can be a positive thing. We want to give you positive feedback, but honest feedback. Be open to it, okay? Be able to disagree with each other, but be able to resolve those disagreements. You're going to, just in a few minutes, learn a little bit about tools and techniques of the group activity we have set together for you. It's okay to disagree. We need to understand why we may have disagreements. Ultimately, from all of this, we give you a lot of information, but we ask you to take action. At the end of it all, you take action, and that action propels you forward and it moves your idea forward. Okay, we want to move your idea forward through an assessment period, put it together so we know, yes, this is something that can attract funding if you need it, and this is something that can make you successful. At the end of the day, be respectful to each other. Also respect the mentors that you have there, the coaches you have. They're there to provide you feedback. Remember, we're all human beings. We're not perfect. Respect each other, and if we respect each other, I think we can disagree. It's okay to do that, but at least we're offering respect because we're all here on the same journey, and that journey is to make you guys successful. Don't delay. Your role is to make sure that you get things done, but if you think of it this way, your role is to make sure that you're interacting with your coaches and they're following up with you and ensuring that your assignments are getting done. They're not going to do your assignments for you, but they are going to help you on that journey. That requires you to be proactive. How many of you were like my wonderful wife who waits to the last minute when she was in school to complete everything the night before? Well, if you're like that, we're asking you to now start changing that behavior. Be proactive and meet the timelines and the delivery. You want to be one of those 6 companies that moves forward after the crash test. You guys are awesome. We thank you very much. Do you have questions? Is there anything we can answer for you? If there is, put it in a chat box, raise your hand, and then we're here to answer questions for you.
I have a first question from Ahmed. Are the mentors assigned to each team randomly or are assigned according to specialty or of each mentor?
Yes, we're going to try to match the needs that you guys have with mentors that have the specific expertise to meet your needs. We're going to do a session, we'll announce that soon, sort of speed dating with coaches and mentors. I say coaches because we're going to provide coaches to you, and then we're going to ask you to go out and build a mentor network. So I think that yes, we're going to try to give you the best fit for the coaches that we have available. And they're pretty awesome, by the way. I'm very excited.
We have a second question from Ahmed. I do multitask and work multi-technologies, and sometimes I feel like I do forget about some skills that I have already was good at my level on it. Wait, sorry, I got confused. He basically forgets some skills because he works with he multitasks and uses multi-technologies. It feels like he forgets some skills that he already got before, he was good before.
Yeah, we all do. We all do.
Yeah.
We spend our life multitasking. We spend our life just doing little quick snippets of things. And sometimes in this program, we're going to ask you to start developing skills and ensuring that you really are developing them for life. So nothing wrong with multitasking. We do a lot of that, but sometimes we're more productive if we're not trying to do too many things at one time. So we'll give you a chance to reflect on your personality, the skills you have, and then think about a short and long-term plan for the future development of those skills.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. Maybe we can move on, David, to our best activity, the icebreaker, and we will keep all the questions, of course, and we will try to respond. So, following your wise words as usual, David, I have the pleasure to give the floor now to Lex Paulson, who will immerse us in this exceptional experience that stimulates our collective intelligence. Lex, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And it's wonderful to follow that great presentation on the mindset that now we're going to be applying to a specific challenge also from David. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about more about collective intelligence as a science. What are some of the key principles that we work on at the school and how they could be useful to you. And then we're going to talk about the game that we're going to play together that will also illustrate one of these methods of collective intelligence. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Here we go. You can see my screen okay?
Yes, great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit about me. My background is in politics, philosophy, law, and came to collective intelligence from the world of first of political campaigns and public policy. I worked on the campaigns of Barack Obama in 2008 and more recently Emmanuel Macron's in 2017. Came to Morocco in 2018 on the invitation of Mustafa Tarab from OCP Group to work with the OCP Group on methods of collective intelligence, open innovation, and community outreach, working with communities and local populations using some of the same grassroots techniques and door-to-door methods that I practiced in the US and France, and with participatory processes that I helped design in cities and for companies in a range of countries in Africa. So have been working in Morocco since 2018, and our school, as I mentioned before, is recently launched our master's, PhD, and research programs. So again, collective intelligence, not just a game you play with Post-its. Collective intelligence is first something natural. We have a natural ability to collaborate. We are not the only animal to use collective intelligence. If you look at a honeybee a hive, this is something that no individual bee could create. Not even the very smartest Albert Einstein of honeybees could create a hive. But this collective emergent intelligence, this collective behavior that came from millions of years of evolution, of random mutation and selection for fitness, created the collective intelligence of bees and ants, and at a smaller scale, but a higher level of complexity in wolves and the big cats, and then finally in primates like human beings. What we have is the ability to use language and abstract thought to create what we call culture, which is rules and practices and behaviors that we can learn, that we can improve on, we can innovate, and we can pass on to the next generation, which allows us to develop our collective intelligence at the scales of millions and billions, and also to do so at a much higher level of complexity than our friends in the natural world. So this is something natural to us. However, it's also something that can fail, and this is why we need to be studying, especially as the nature of our environment changes, environment that we've done so much to stress and in some cases destroy. How do we then repair the damage we've done through collaborations around, let's say, climate change or public health or gender equality? How do we develop companies that treat their workers more fairly? Ideas that deliver products and services to empower people, give them a higher quality of life. So this is the reason why the field of collective intelligence was created from a combination of cognitive science, data science, political science, and management science, as well as those who practice dialogue and peace building at an expert level. And so this is how the science of collective intelligence in the last 20 years has come together. So it's something that's all around us, collective intelligence, but unfortunately so is collective stupidity. And so what are the things that we study? So as I mentioned before, we have three basic fields within the domain of collective intelligence. First, we think about how to reason better. How do we understand our own minds, the biases that have been created by evolution to save energy, to make us more efficient, but that can also lead us to weigh recent information more heavily than less recent information, as an example of a cognitive bias, to trust information that comes from people who look like us more than information that comes from people who don't look like us. So these are cognitive biases that served an evolutionary purpose, but that now can cause us to make big mistakes, especially in probability and statistical thinking. The second big pillar is in thinking about systems. Again, how do we make our teams more motivated, more aligned, more resilient, that enables us to then solve complex problems by honoring multiple perspectives, not just everyone agree really quickly. That's not collective intelligence. Collective intelligence is finding the person who doesn't agree and really listening to them. As David was saying, it's how do you listen to recognize the new information that could potentially be very, very valuable for your idea, to build your idea. So it's building systems, understanding how to design new products and services in a way where everyone can participate. And then finally, facilitation. How do we tell our stories? Stories are the #1 way of transmitting knowledge throughout human history. How we tell stories tells more than just about the content of the story. It talks about our values, what we think is right and wrong, what we think is needed in the moment. So storytelling, how we mobilize, this is a big part of the Obama campaign and a big part of what we practice in the School of Collective Intelligence. How we take an idea from the beginning stages and develop it into a collective story of us. And how do we make decisions in a way that is not just calling a vote, but trying to find points of convergence, understanding where we disagree, and using those disagreements not as a sign of weakness, but as a sign of potential strength, of breaking through a roadblock and understanding the world in a new way. So with this in mind, and of course, this ecosystem is a fast-growing one. That includes our school in Morocco, as well as research teams working at NYU, the Governance Lab, Yale University, MIT, Nesta, which is the National Endowment for Science. In London, they have a new Center for Collective Intelligence Design, as well as research centers across Europe that bring together, as you can see on the right, researchers from a big range of discipline to uncover what are the conditions of collaboration and of group performance. Okay, so that's the 2-minute version of collective intelligence. What are we going to learn today? So the method we're going to practice is called D21. It's short for Democracy 2.1, which was both a voting system and a company created by a mathematician and philanthropist in the Czech Republic named Karl Janeček, who I worked with for a number of years in the 2010s. And his idea was the way that we vote is part of the problem with why we have such bad leaders. It's because that we think that there's no better way than just saying, okay, choose your favorite. Everyone gets one vote and choose your favorite. Whereas in fact, that actually produces big distortions in who wins, especially in a two-party system. So he developed this system that I'm going to show you called D21 to help not just governments and societies, but also companies, teams, use this principle of advanced voting method that's very easy to use, but that can help unlock information that traditional voting systems would leave hidden. So how does this work? Let me show you. Now imagine that there are 7 of us on a board of directors for our company. And we have a $1 million budget that we're allocating for the next year on community projects, on social impact projects that our company supports. Now, in the single vote system, the traditional system, everyone votes for their favorite project. We see that there are 7 people and 6 ideas. Everyone votes for their #1 favorite idea. So the woman at the top here, she votes for a kindergarten project. This woman votes for a senior citizen project. This guy votes for the parks. This guy votes for a fire, helping build a fire station. This guy votes for bike lanes. And these 2 guys at the bottom are lawyers, and they have big SUVs, and they think the biggest thing the company can do for social impact is building VIP parking lanes with valet parking for their SUVs. And so in a traditional voting system, if everyone votes honestly, because you have 6 options, these 2 people, even if their option, the VIP parking, is not the option that a majority would support, can still win the vote if everyone votes honestly, because everyone else's votes get dispersed and split. So the first innovation in D21 is thinking about multiple votes. What happens if we give people the chance to choose more than one idea? So in this example, same 7 people, same 6 options, same preferences. And what happens? If you give people just the chance to choose 2 ideas instead of 1, or 2 candidates instead of 1, with the same people, same ideas, same preferences, you get a totally different outcome. Instead of the VIP parking winning, you get the kindergarten winning with 4 votes. And so it shows how the level of legitimacy of choosing the idea will go up, because instead of only 2 people supporting the winner, now you have 4 people supporting the winner. We didn't exclude anybody. We didn't have to force anybody to change their mind. We just changed and improved the selection algorithm to make it, to bring more information to the surface. So first aspect is multiple votes. Second is negative votes, minus vote. So imagine if instead of just voting for your favorite idea, you could vote for 2 ideas you like and give a minus vote against an idea that you didn't like. Now, again, same people, same preferences, same options. And you see how instead of the VIP parking, which was the winner in the quote unquote simple system, actually is the loser, is the least favorite option when you let people express more of their preferences, more ideas that they like, and a minus vote for an idea that they don't like. So it's a very simple idea. It has some very sophisticated math that that you can use to adjust the number of votes plus and minus depending on the number of options. That's for another day. But today we're going to apply this idea of +2 - 1 to a brainstorming and prioritization exercise. And I'm just going to show you how you might apply this to a survey in business, for example. So one common mistake that entrepreneurs make is they're trying to ask and learn about maybe what their team preference is in, and they ask, say, okay, do you think we should raise customer satisfaction? Yes or no? And everyone says yes. What did you learn? Nothing. So instead of asking yes, no questions, a good practice is to ask multiple choice questions where people can express both a preference and a negative preference. I mean, they like something they don't like. So this would be an example of how we would apply the D21 method to an issue about customer satisfaction. Here are some options. We do a brainstorm. We come up with these 6 options, and everyone chooses 3 options that they like. They don't have to rank them, so all votes count the same. And then they give a minus vote to one they don't like. And this allows a lot more information to come to the surface instead of just having winners and losers. So you see, if the option wins, say 300 people in your company voted for this option, only 93 voted for here. Well, this losing option, was it because the people really didn't like it, or just they didn't care about it? And this option over here, did people not vote for it because they were against it, or because they didn't care about it? With the simple voting system, we don't know. We can't distinguish options that are irrelevant from options that are actively opposed. And so this is why the D21 method can be such a great tool for collective intelligence, because by casting plus votes as well as minus votes, you can see areas of consensus, that is places that got options that got a lot of positive votes, and options that maybe that got a lot of negative votes, but very few negative or very few positive. That's an area of consensus. And you'll find that if you give people multiple plus votes, you'll have more areas of consensus instead of people just supporting their own favorite idea. And similarly, you'll be able to distinguish from the options that didn't get as many votes, the ones that people didn't care about as much, and the ones that people had strong positive and strong negative feelings for. And this is not a weakness. It's actually a really important way of learning about your team preferences and pooling knowledge in your group to examine what are the ideas that provoked a lot of strong positive feelings and strong negative feelings. So this is what we're going to look at in this game. We're going to present you the challenge. You're going to brainstorm for 15 minutes in small groups, come up with an idea. You're going to pitch your idea. If we had a longer workshop, we would do. There are methods of clustering ideas we would use to create our final list of options. In this case, we won't do that. Everyone's going to pitch one idea only, and then we're going to cast a vote on a Google form that Tarek is preparing. And then at the end, we're going to look at the results of the plus votes and minus votes for each option, and we're going to do some very quick collective learning. How do we make sense of the results? So with that, oh yes, and as I say, for the collective learning, we're going to look about areas of consensus, areas where there seemed to be less relevance, fewer positive and negative votes, and areas of controversy where there were significant numbers of both plus and minus votes. And those are where we're going to get our biggest learnings. Okay, so with that, we're going to unveil the challenge. Over to you, David, for the video.
All right, thank you, Lex. We really appreciate it. I think this is a really cool thing to do. We do have one question. Somebody raised their hand. Do we want to, you want to go ahead and ask that question now before we begin?
Sure, go ahead.
I think that's T40 Tariq. So if you want to unmute yourself or ask a question, you've got your hand raised. But you are muted right now. Okay, I don't know if you'd like to ask it. If you do ask, you are muted right now. We'll give you another second or two and then we'll move on, but you can always ask later on.
Yeah, we'll have time at the end if anyone has questions.
Okay, I think we're going to move on. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to give you a problem here to think about, something near and dear to me, my awesome wife and our dog Renegade with Morocco. Please don't beat me up too much on my video whiteboard skills. Like I said, if I did this as a startup company, I'd be hiring somebody to help me do this. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we do, David.
Okay, I'm just going to unshare quickly. I want to make sure, yeah, I've got the options selected that I needed to have. You can see it again.
Yes.
All right, off we go. Let's listen.
Making a move to Morocco. An expat's adventure. Kathleen, David, and their wonder dog Renegade receive a great opportunity to move to Morocco. They love Morocco and decide to go for it and make the transition from their current country to Morocco. Kathleen and David pack up and with their wonder dog Renegade travel to Morocco to begin their new adventure. Kathleen and David find the country to be beautiful. They meet many warm and friendly people that make them feel welcomed. But they are confronted with burdensome paperwork and strange processes. Language problems also complicate the issue. Other issues come up. They have shipping problems, internet and banking issues because they do not have a residency card, and they find that not all of their credit cards work. Kathleen and David and their wonder dog Renegade are left with stress and anxiety. While they are happy with the decision they made to move to Morocco, Kathleen and David wonder what could be done to help other persons that relocate to Morocco to make their experience a better one. What do you think?
Back to you, Lex.
Thank you, David. Okay, so sharing my screen again. I got to go back to Zoom to do that. We're going to divide you. We divided you into 10 groups with names from across Morocco, starting with the first 10 letters of the alphabet. And again, the idea, the challenge is, what would be a great business idea to help expats like David and his wife and dog Renegade move to Morocco. So you have 15 minutes to work in your small group of about 5, 6, 7 people. And you're going to organize yourself. We're going to be here in case you have questions or issues, technical issues. But really this is over to you for your collective intelligence to discuss, do some brainstorming, pick a promising idea, develop the idea as much as you can, all in 15 minutes. You can do it your own way. And we just ask you for 2 things. So first, your idea needs a name. Catchier name is obviously always a plus. And a value proposition. What is it that your product or service will do? And as they say, you have 15 minutes, then you're going to prepare during that 15 minutes, choose one person at the end, once you have your idea, your description, to give a 1-minute pitch. So in that 1-minute pitch, again, we just want you to focus on the name of the idea and what is the basic value proposition. How are you going to do what you want to do? And following this, we're going to visualize these ideas on a collaborative whiteboard called Mural. and then we're going to send you in the chat a link to a Google form to vote, and then we're going to see which ideas got the most plus votes, got the most minus votes, and do some collective learning. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Great. Over to the impact team to divide us up.
So you guys have been divided. Please let me know if you have an issue seeing the notification that is asking you to join your team. I can see that people are already joining their teams, so I believe it's fine. Just let me know if you have any problems technically to join your team.
So when there are about 2-3 minutes left, you should try to shift to choosing who's going to do the pitch and giving some notes of what you're going to say.
Umaima and I are going to be going over the teams. If you have any questions, you can ask us, and you can also request help. I think from at the bottom of your screen, you can request help if you need.
And Zainab, there are, I think, 13 people not assigned currently to a room. Somebody said they didn't receive anything yet. And that is STO1. We even see STO1 here in our screen. STO1.
I think now we're good, because if people signed off, maybe logged off during a brief moment, they would have lost the team, but now everyone is assigned normally.
Okay. ST22 says, could you invite me again because I didn't accept it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Imad, you should join the team. I think everyone is we have. Yeah, I think everyone is assigned now, right, Umaima?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Only members of the team are unassigned.
Okay.
But we can still see
Just the members of the teams who are unassigned, and we can.
But we can see ST22, T22, ST. They are going actually. Okay.
Yes.
So for the members of the team, I guess feel free to join like some of the rooms and mingle.
Yeah, you guys have split it up, so I'll be here. If there's a question, I'll look on WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
And then these few remaining folks here that are still not in rooms.
No, these are the teams.
Yeah. Yes, we have
and
Lesia, members from Amgar.
Okay, I'm gonna go join a room.
Okay.
Sometimes people are signed in with different devices. So I can see, for instance, that ST22 are on 3 different devices or something. Oh no, it's the different people. But sometimes people are assigned in 2 different devices.
That's why we understand that we have 3 members are not assigned. Okay.
That's a big screen, Umaima.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying you're full screen.
I am full screen.
Yeah, it must be because you're like controlling it all. That's what I'm no worries. I'm just giving you a hard
Okay.
time. I'm going to Casablanca now.
Hello guys, if there's anyone who can't join their room or they have any issue, just please let me know. As I can see that some people are still in the main room.
Okay, Umayma, by the way, we asked we should join a group or not? No?
It's as you like. If you want to go check on them, of course, you can.
Okay, can you help me just to know how? But it's obligatory to be with them or not necessary?
Oh, no, it's not. It's completely up to you.
Okay.
Only making rounds with Zainab, so.
If I want to join the group, what shall I do?
It's below in you're gonna find the option breakout rooms.
Diviser en groupe.
Diviser en groupe.
D'accord.
And then you can click on rejoindre on the group of your liking.
D'accord, ok, très bien. Merci.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
I've been in the wrong group because I am not from Asila and from Husima. Do you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
we wanted to make those of you who aren't from these regions travel a little bit, virtual travel.
And we are all Moroccans.
Oh, okay,
Proud
thanks.
to be
Sorry.
Moroccans from all the
Sorry.
regions.
So great. So welcome back, everybody. Everyone can see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a tool called Mural.
Yeah.
This is a tool called Mural, and we're going to use this tool, this collaborative workspace, to record your ideas. So let's start with now 1 minute pitch. And we're gonna give the gong. Actually, I'm going to ask David. Can you be our gong master if they go past a minute?
I can do it.
Excellent. Okay, Group Asila, you're up. What's your idea?
If you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, I don't know my group's name. Like we don't know our group names.
The ones you were just in for the last 15 minutes?
Honestly,
So
I
in
didn't
group,
know. I don't know my group.
in group Asila, there's Omar, Musali, Barrada Amin, Muhammad, Arus. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, and Saad Khubzi. Those are the people who are in group Asila. So if one of you can pitch the idea, please. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we are the first group, right?
Go ahead, Group Asila.
Okay. So hello everybody. We worked like with the team members on a solution called ePal. ePal is a virtual assistant to help expatriates complete their administrative procedure. So the virtual assistants work with voice guided mode and voice guided commands to help the concerned. Nice sound effects. So it helped like the target with his administrative procedure and the steps and what he needs to do with that. It also provides an included service with digital signature using Adobe Sign instead of just maybe just like taking a lot of time with signature and scanning and sending. It can provide like a digital service to that. It also includes translation services. It can scan printed is it done?
That's it. 1 minute.
Okay, ePal. Okay, Group Ben Gurir.
Here I am. I will be the one presenting my group's idea, right? Okay. First of all, like our project is like our idea is called Welcome to Morocco, and the idea is about a website, as actually the main problem is not knowing and. We know that when a foreign person wants to come to Morocco, the papers and things like that, the procedure is really foggy and it's not that clear. So the first thing that people do is to Google something. So to Google like the thing like the country where they want to go. The website is about. It will contain many sections about. About all the papers and all like what works in Morocco and what does not, because in the video you mentioned that some of your credit cards weren't working in Morocco as they were working in America. So this is one of the main problems. And of course we were we thought about an assistance.
Okay, thank you, Group Ben Guerir. Group Casablanca. Group
Hello,
Casablanca, you're up.
everyone. Our idea's name is Your Guide. It's an application who will help foreigners get acquainted with Morocco and the administrative work in it. The value we want to add with our application is mainly simplicity. We want to create an application that is easy to navigate and that will help our users get their papers, apply for their residency, or starting from when they're still in their native countries. We also want to present a side service which will allow our users who do not have Moroccan credit cards pay in Morocco using their PayPal accounts. We want our application also to have the ability to present our users with some things that they are familiar with. For example, if they have a different metric system than we do, it will present them with their original metric system and our and Morocco's metric system. Is it up? Is my time up?
Yes.
Time is up.
And we will write the IDs as well.
Thank
you,
you,
Group
but-
Casablanca. Group Dakhala.
Hello, everyone. We were talking. We are thinking about the application ATM, America to Morocco. This application will give to American citizens the ability to translate different documentary, and also they can find the translation of the vocal voice of people if they are in taxi or if they are need a translation of a voice. The second thing is a source of information. This application can give different information that they can need. For example, the different cities, the different places, and the different people that they can meet in Morocco. The all processes about the administration's part, they can lead them to know different, for example, documentary or papers that they will need in Morocco. Also, this application creates each month a program
Okay, thank you, Group Dakhla. Group Espira.
Hello. So we are Moro Connect project, an application that will allow expatriates to be connected to guides and assistants all over Morocco, and that will help them in their daily life according to their needs and their native language to be integrated to our society through this application. Our application will be paying, so expatriates will need to pay in order to profit from our service, and we will have a ranking feature that will allow them to give a ranking to guides or assistants. And our value is matching assistants and guides to expatriates in order to assist them and to assist them. That's it.
Good job. The first group that made it out of the gong. Well done, Group Eswira. Group Figig.
Well, Visit Morocco is a mobile and web application that offers, either expatriates directly or through their corporations who bring them. It will be two-sided platform. From one side, the expatriate or the company for which he or she works, and the other side, a variety of corporation like travel agencies for rental, for housing, for schools, for clinics. And in addition to this service, we will bring luxury concierge for people who do not want to bother themselves by going through the application. They need to register on the application, but just with one call, we will allocate one luxury concierge to them that will arrange and fix all their needs.
Perfect. Well done. Visit Morocco app. Well done. Okay, Group Gelmim.
Hello.
Hello, so I'm representing the group Kalmim. We thought that many of expats that came to Morocco want to help our Moroccan institute to develop, find a problem to create a bank account, and many crucial needs due to the procedures. Our solution is to create a platform called RTPay that will facilitate the paperwork 3 months prior to their arrival. They will pay in their currency for the services, and the platform, or it's a virtual agency, will take care of it just like the work of a virtual immigration office or embassy, and it will include all the expats from that country specifically. That's it.
Fantastic. Good job. RTPay, virtual agency. Good job, Group Galmim. Group Husseima.
Hey, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, everyone? Are you good?
Great.
All right. So our area's name is actually the Moroccanization, and it's about an agency placed here in Morocco that is actually linked with another one in the US that can provide everything as a solution to all the worries that we can eliminate from the outcomers from the US by creating an application that where we can find some family hosts that can make some night courses for the US people coming here to Morocco, teach them Arabic, teach them Darija, teach them the culture of Morocco so that they can feel much better here in our country and everything else. So that's how we can help citizens coming from the US to feel more comfortable in our country, in Morocco. And it's called Moroccanization.
Moroccanization Agency. Great. Good job, Group Husseima. Group Ifran.
Well, hello everybody. Our idea is called New Horizon. It is an app that provides a personalized and customized program depending on the day of arrival of the expats. The program will focus on 2 services, which are language and cultural assistance and financial legal document assistance. The program will be basically divided on 3 stages. The pre-arrival stage will be focusing on cultural, language, and financial problems. The arrival and destination program will be focusing on recommendations, suggestions on restaurants, taxi drivers, and services offered in the country of destination. And the post program that will be focusing on joining a bigger network of alumni of the same program to share experiences about the program.
And what do we call it?
New Horizon.
New Horizon program. Great. Thank you, Group Ifran. And finally, Group Drada.
Hello, everyone. So our solution is called Go Morocco. So it's a platform that integrates all the service providers that will help newcomer coming to Morocco he will have all the information that he will need about buying and renting houses, schools and universities, commercial services, banks, transportation. Also, we'll add information about language schools if you want to learn Arabic, Amazigh, or other languages. Also, we have a service about regulation processes and information. Also, culture and restrictions. And to keep this platform free, we are planning to if a service provider gets a client, we will have a percentage of the benefits. That's all.
Excellent. Great. Well, while Zainab continues just to add the ideas, what we're going to do is do a quick review, and everyone gets to choose. In this case, we have 10 ideas. So the D21 method says that everyone should choose 3, not just 2, but 3 of these ideas that you would invest in, that you would support. Right? If you were, imagine now you're put on your venture capital hat, which 3 of these ideas could you imagine giving your investment to? And you can give a minus vote, sometimes called a lemon, to the idea you think is least likely to work. Okay, so remember we have the EPAL virtual assistant. We have Welcome to Morocco website. And we have the information here on the left you can see. We have Your Guide app. We have the America to Morocco app. We have Moroconnect app. We have the Visit Morocco app. We have the RTPay virtual agency. We have the Moroccanization agency. We have the New Horizon program, and we have the Go Morocco platform. So with this, can someone put in the chat the link to the Google form?
All right, it is in the chat.
Great, so everyone go to the chat on your screen. You can go more, go to the chat right here, and you'll see there's the link. So click this link. The first 3 questions are, you can choose 3 different projects. You can't choose the same one. Choose 3 different ideas. And then the 4th one is your lemon, is your minus vote. The idea you think is least likely to work. Oh, Omar slipping in a little EPAL slogan at the end. Sometimes trying to prove you're the best is an insult. I like it. Sneaky marketing. I like it. Good job, Omar. Okay, so any questions? Everyone see the link? Everyone can click the link, open up the Google form, show you how it works.
Can we vote for our, group?
Yes, but then you have to vote for 2 others also. Okay, so vote 1, right? You can, here vote 1, vote 2, vote 3, and then your minus vote. Okay, is it clear for everybody? I'm gonna leave up, I'm gonna let everyone vote for 2 minutes. I'm gonna zoom out here so that you see all the ideas. EPAL Virtual Assistant, welcome to Morocco website, your guide app.
Excuse me, which group talked about luxury services?
Concierge, I think that was the RDPay. Oh, the Moroccanization agency.
Thank you.
No, Luxy Concierge is the Visit Morocco app. Here we go. Group Figig.
Okay.
How about the group that talked about matching clients with guides?
With guides?
Moroconnect, Group
That was
Essaouira.
Moroconnect, Group Essaouira.
Thank you.
Hey Lex, do you want to see the status online, like in real time?
No, we don't want anyone to be influenced by anybody else.
All right.
Tarek holds the keys to it all.
Tarek holds the key to it all.
Man, like this votes fraud is a whole science.
While people are voting, one of the other best practices is, one of the reasons why it's great to vote like this, like through a Google form, is that there's no bandwagon effect. You guys know what a bandwagon effect is? It means when you see there's something that's going to be a winner, you join the bandwagon. You vote for that one because you think it's going to win. In this case, everyone gives their sincere best judgment, not influenced by the others, and that creates the most intelligent result. Okay. How many votes do we have, Tarek? How many people
40
have voted?
votes so far. 40.
40? Okay,
Yep.
so another 30, 40 of you guys still need to vote.
45.
Another good best practice that we didn't do, but that you should know about is a randomized order. If you look at, there's studies of elections and local races where people don't know who the people are running. People who are listed on the top of the ballot always do better. So there's a ordering bias that can take place. So try not to be influenced by who's higher or who's lower on the list, but who has actually the most interesting idea.
So I'm ready to share the results. Are you?
Yeah, great. I'm gonna
go
stop sharing
for
for a
it.
second.
Lex, do you want me to share the results?
Yeah, go ahead.
3, 2.
There you go.
You gonna share your screen? Or are you gonna put it in the mural?
Oh, it is in the mural.
Okay, excellent. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna share my screen again. All right. Nice work, Tarek.
There you go.
Okay. So the way we would calculate the net, obviously, is you subtract the number of minus votes from the number of plus votes if you were going to do it based on the net. But we have some interesting points of consensus. So I'm going to throw it open to the group here. Where is the consensus? Where did our collective preferences go? What were the options that had the most plus votes? Anybody?
I think Sawera.
Essaouira, that would be
Moroccanect.
Moroccanect. And then we had a close race for second here between
Dakhla.
EPAL, A2M, and Go Morocco. Which one got the most negative votes? This is really, Casablanca. This is really interesting. So we have a good example here. Casablanca got the most minus votes with 14, maybe because you don't like Casablanca as a city, which is possible. Or
no, it's not.
No, I'm
it's
kidding.
The upper dog effect. They keep talking.
That's right.
So, but also you had 9 people voting for it. So that's the third highest number of plus votes. Okay, so what's the learning here? What's our apprentissage?
I have a question, please.
We should be humble.
We should be humble. There's a fine line between persistence and being annoying. Is that right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Right, there was a young lady with a question. Go ahead.
Most risk is
How do you usually deal with bias in these kind of cases? Because I'm sure there is a lot of bias in here.
Now, there are lots of different kinds of bias. What kind of bias are you talking about?
Well, there is, for example, like you said, there is, for example, people could have voted for a city just because they liked it. But one of the things that when I was, for example, selecting, I didn't remember exactly what was happening. Like, like the idea, the description of the idea. So people could have voted just because of, like they choose because of a city, or they choose because they liked the name. But the actual idea, I do not believe they voted for the idea. That is what I think.
Okay. Can I tell you a secret? Can you allow me to tell you?
Allow you to use what?
A secret.
Go ahead.
You know, I asked who are the group that said matching clients with guide.
Yep.
It was my idea. It was our idea. idea. So
Ah.
I just wanted people to remember it.
Ah, you were being tricky. You were being tricky. I liked it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's tricky.
because that's why I asked, how do you deal with bias in this kind of situation?
Well, as I say, there are lots of different kinds of biases involved in group decisions. One is the effect of the ordering, right? The effect of what order people hear their ideas, because they're most likely to remember the ones they hear first and the ones they hear last. In that way, you want to randomize it, or at least have the order on the voting be different than the order in which people heard the idea. Another way to go against the bias of just people voting based on what they remember is to hear trade-offs, right? So imagine instead of having 10 pitches with 1 minute each, we had 5 pitches with of 10 minutes each, or we had 5 pitches where they pitched for 5 minutes and then had 5 minutes of tough questions. People could ask them tough questions about is this going to work? Is this feasible? And you could test the idea, right? That's one way of having a more substantive vote at the end, rather than just voting based on what you happen to remember. And then the anonymous vote's really important, because more influential people in the group tend to influence others. That's by definition. And so if you know how your friends are voting, you're more likely to vote their way. This is why we wanted to do it through the Google form. So that's how we dealt with one bias. But for the others, well, a lot of the solution is just giving more time and allowing each idea to be tested. We could also have given different names to the group, so that geographic bias, we could have called it awesome and bonus and cash money for instead of Asila, Ben Gurir, and Casablanca. But we wanted to make it a little bit more Marrocanisé, So there you go. Any other questions? What else do we learn? What do we learn about the ideas? So what was interesting about the ideas that seem to get more plus votes? Who has an explanation? Again, Esawira, ranking, helps you rank guides, premium app. Why do we think that was more interesting for people? Very few negative votes and a lot of plus votes.
For me, I mean, there was some catchy words that maybe some of us, remembered more than the substance of the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And those catchy words maybe influenced, those decisions on while choosing or while rating those ideas.
Good, very good. I like that. Yeah. Then we have the case of Asila here, which earned the second highest number of total votes. So Casablanca we talked about, but had 23 votes total, including plus and minus. Asila got 19 total votes, plus and minus. What was it about the Asila idea, ePal virtual assistant, that had 9 people, someone who gave it a plus vote? Why did you give it a plus vote? And someone who gave it a minus vote, why did you give it a minus vote? Who gave it a plus vote? The ePal virtual assistant. Someone not from the team, someone not from the group who gave it a plus vote. Why did you do it?
Yeah. And also something, okay, can I add something?
Sure.
Yes?
Please.
Can I? Yeah, okay. And also, it's also the problem of the time management, they know what to do, but they don't know how to organize it. And this is a big problem, because I don't know, but I give just a quick of an eye to each one. I find that there are some smart students, can I say, they know how to manage time and how to cut it short, the things, and go in deeply to the problem to have a solution. And others know they know the problem, but they take a long time to explain or to search about a solution. I think it's one of the impediments too. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And we have to, time management is critical, especially when thinking about who's making the decision about your company. Is it an investor? Is it a client at a fair? Is it someone looking at an ad on a bus? And what is the amount of time that they have to get the information they need to make a decision? And what are you giving them in that time? Is it 5 seconds? Is it 30 seconds? Is it 2 minutes? Usually it's not very much time, right? It could be just a few seconds. How do you give them something catchy, memorable, persuasive in the short amount of time? And how do you manage your time when you're coming up with the idea too? That's good. Very good. Who else has a learning? What else do we learn from this experience?
can I just answer the question you asked before about I gave Asila a minus because I hate virtual assistants. So I didn't care about the substance of the idea. So this sometimes a bias, as we said. I'm sorry for this.
It's not a bias. It's actually something called a heuristic. Heuristic comes from the Greek word for to interpret. When you interpret the idea, you do it with a shortcut, right? A heuristic is a shortcut, basically. All virtual assistants can be crappy. Or, I really like Lebanese food. Even if I don't know what the dish is, it's Lebanese. Yeah, I like it, right? So heuristic is like a shortcut that allows you to save time and energy that your brain can use for other things. So in your case, your heuristic was virtual assistant probably is going to be annoying, right? It might not be wrong. It might be right, If you say, Apple products are generally better than Microsoft products or generally better than open source products. That can be a heuristic and you might be correct, or it might be wrong in a specific case. So that's a good.
Just like a question for Abdul Ali. If
yes,
the
please.
voice assistant is a woman, will you keep the same opinion?
No. Here I mean I made a decision only based on the name of the startup or the idea. So I didn't care much about the idea, but here I got influenced because the lack of time went directly. But I said okay, assistant. So no for me.
So that's a good lesson because that's how your customers are also going to make decisions. They're going to make shortcuts. Is this a Moroccan product or a French product? Is it a product from someone I know or someone I don't know? Does it seem like it is easy to use or not? How does it relate to the products I've seen before? Does it seem familiar? Or does it seem strange? So exactly what you're describing is part of the client mindset and client decision or customer decision as well. That's a very good lesson. Okay, we're going to finish up. Any closing thoughts? Any closing? What did we learn from this whole experience about how to create some collective intelligence in our group?
I think here what I learned, at least for me, is to choose the right words, like someone said before, the catchy words, and to always make sure that you leave a good impression in your users, so they can always remember you with something good that will actually affect their decision.
Excellent. Very good.
I just want to add something quick. I didn't know the sound effect like boing was like the meaning of like the pitch is like, because when I used to pitch, I used to maybe see a timer. Maybe a timer will help me and give me some kind of pressure, and like that, like ring the bell kind of sound effects. But like that was because I was like, what happened? And then I realized, because I was like the first one who pitched. So after that, I understood. So yeah.
Yeah, it's going first can be a good thing and also can be hard because you don't get to learn from what other people did. So that's good. Okay, thanks.
I actually voted for Asila just because they were the first.
So there you go. It's a double-edged sword.
It's called the underdog effect. I mean,
underdog
it was hard
effect,
for them. So and yes,
you had sympathy for him.
People learn for them. Yes. So I had pity with them. So
Sweden. Okay, great. Well, with that, guys, thank you for participating in this cool collective intelligence exercise. That you guys were very creative. I'm going to pass it back to Tarek and the Impact team to wrap us up for the day.
Thanks, Lex, so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lex. Thank you.
Yeah.
David, I think that you are happy now. No?
Did we solve your problems, David?
It is totally solved. Thank you so much.
Great. So thank you, everyone. So let's move now to some best practices for our next session tomorrow. So let me share with you my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So first, let's talk about the next steps. So first of all, just a quick, how can I say, reminder. I would like to thank all the participants who already kindly signed and sent us back the legal documents. And I will just remind the other ones to send it as soon as possible. And of course, if you have any question, please just get in touch with us, with the team, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Quickly, I will just talk about the matching itself. So as now all the participants must know, the matching is a key step in this program, and it's really important to each solo talent to get hired by a startup. And it is also important to each startup to complete their competencies and skills needed to succeed in this program. So I really recommend you to continue. For the one who already achieved and complete the team, I will say congrats and good match. And for the other one, I will suggest to continue the matching, connecting with each other. And just to let you know that tomorrow we will have our last session for matching. So where we will have a Tinder and speed dating between startups and talents. And we will ask actually in the first session to each team leader from each startup to do a speech of 1 minute. So get ready for that to prepare this session. So let's move on now to the agenda tomorrow. So as you can see, we will start at 2:30 p.m. Tomorrow, Friday. We will start actually with a nice activity about discovering ourselves, our mindset. And this is will be animated by Ali and David. And then we will yes?
I'm sorry, Friday.
Yes, go ahead. And then we will have a small break before starting the matching activities, as I explained just earlier. So that's it for today. I would like just to thank everyone and all the attendees for your participation and your engagement. Thank you for the partners.
Lena,
Yes.
Yeah, really quick. Tomorrow morning, you're going to receive an email inviting you to take a personality assessment test. Okay, so it's going to be sent out tomorrow morning. Please complete that before you show up for day 2 tomorrow at 2:40, because we're going to be using that to get to know each other. And we're going to be going over results and allowing you to figure out how to reflect and use the results to your benefit. Okay, so look out for the email tomorrow morning, and please complete the assessment. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you to reminding me, David. Thank you. This is really important to make this activity. So so this is it for us. I would like just to thank everyone for your attendance, and I'm so excited that we will be all together these 4 coming days. Welcome again to the community, and let's continue this great experience. Thank you very much.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye bye. See you
everyone.
tomorrow.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.